And we are back with some unscripted content. Today's is brought to you by the newest Fire Emblem Heroes banner, which had units from Fire Emblem Awakening. And that got me back to thinking about my playthroughs of Awakening and the thought that I had put into creating a perfect pairing matrix, which involved getting as many married couples as I could so that I could have all the child units, but also trying to make the supports and the parents make sense in a narrative sense as opposed to in a battle sense. So I'm just going to be going through and talking about my favorite matrix of pairings. So that means that I can't just say, Henry is the best dad for all the kids, which is an accurate statement that I will stand by forever. But I'm only allowed to pick one with Henry, that sort of thing. So, here we go. I'm not going to spend a really long time talking about Crom and Robin, because the entire game is based off of their friendship. And that friendship is what I like about them together. The support it's something, but the rest of the game, their invisible ties, we're not the pawns of some scripted fate, the whole ending, that's gold. And that's the kind of relationship that I like. So go you, go Crom, go Robin. Really, the only bad thing about me putting Crom and Robin together is that I can't put Crom and Sumiya together. That is just a tragedy, because Sumiya punches Crom in the face, which is hilarious, and somewhere between the 5th and 6th pie I said to myself, Crom, you have to marry this woman. I'm paraphrasing, I don't have the screen cap of that one yet. And, the lovingly looking into her eyes as she, saves him on the Pegasus, it's so cute. Sumiya's support pool is super small, and that's a shame. I remember really wanting Sumiya installed to get hitched, and that just wouldn't happen. So I have to pick between the body swapping episode, Here's Your Beehive Gaius catch, which admittedly is hilarious, and Gaius does make a really fun dad for Cynthia. I have to stick with my guns and go with our man Frederick, because his support with Sumiya is just very sweet. They're both, loyal knights that work very hard in Crom's service, but they're also, Sumiya's kind of clumsy at times, but then he says she's beautiful, and that's adorable. Okay, we're going out guns blazing. This support has everything. We have humor, we have backstory, we have motivation, and watching Sully and the Vake, two very strong and outspoken characters, getting to see each other in a deeper light is really cool. And there is a cute nod in the Gel support with her father, where her father had to learn to cook because, Sully just won't, and she mentions that in her support with Vake, so it's cute, it's really good. This is just a solid support all around. Muriel and Kellum was one of my first, staple ships of Fire Emblem Awakening. I got their support, and I couldn't go anywhere from there. It was just so cute. Kellum has a lot of really good supports with people, believe it or not. He's more than just a joke character. But I do really like his support with Muriel. It's just very cute and sweet, where Muriel is hanging around him all the time, trying to figure out why he disappears, and then realizing that once she gets to know him better, he stops disappearing, and he finds it cute, that she's staying with her, and he likes her being with him, and it's just soft and warm. I also think that Kellum makes the most sense as a dad for Laurent based on the conversation, because Laurent's whole thing is that he's so much like Muriel, and, his father asks, hey, did you pick up anything from me at all? And he goes, yeah, your hair color. And that's just so funny, because Kellum, as someone who you would normally not see, it makes sense that he wouldn't pick up a lot of traits from him. So it's cute and good. Am I really gonna pick Lonku and Lissa because of the cinematic parallels of him taking an arrow for her and then him taking an arrow for Owain? Yes. Yes, I am. Also, I do like that there's the in-game canon of Lissa interacting with Lonku, right away, ooh, look at that muscle man, ooh, and then that's cute. And the fact that Lonku, out of all of the men in the army, I think seems the most likely to just shut down at Owain's antics and be like, okay, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just gonna ask Mom, and then just go, and it's really good. But the cinematic parallels are just too good to pass up. Donald Bell, good. That's it. It's just really, really good. Maribel is another character that has a whole bunch of amazing supports with, like, everyone. So it's really hard to say, like, one is better than the other. This one, I'm going to 100% admit, it's because it's adorable. They dance together, and she doesn't care about his, his standing or the fact that he doesn't have a lot of money or anything. She's just in it because, she wants to help him, and she ends up liking him a lot. It's very cute, it's very sweet, and humanitarian Maribel in her ending, going and working on a farm, like, that's absolutely amazing, and I love that she, like, gets down into it, and it's good. I also like the idea that Brady picked up his speech patterns, not just because he wanted to be a thug, but because he wanted to be like his pop, and that's adorable, and I like that a lot. I also read this really good fan fiction of Donald and Maribel, and I'm gonna link it because you should read it. It's so good. I am extremely picky when it comes to Cordelia supports, and I'm going to admit that right off the bat. Really, my condition for them is the less she mentions Crom and the more she smiles, the better. The fact that this support with Stahl was of them making music and complimenting each other, it was very cute, very sweet. I play musical instruments, and so I loved to see them playing the harps together. It was very, very cute, and Crom was mentioned like once, and most of it was just about them discussing things, and so I liked that a lot. I also think that Severa being Stahl's makes for a really funny father-daughter support chain, because she's like, oh, father, you've got to buy me everything. And he's like, yeah, sure, sweetie, whatever you say. Stahl just seems like a doormat. Like, I love him, but he would get walked over by his kid. Am I really only putting Rickon and Noe here because he's the only one who looks like the age that should be dating Noe? Maybe. It's cute. That's it. It's cute, and if I put Noe with anyone else, I just cringe hardcore. First off, all Gregor supports are incredible. Like, he is a fantastic, fun character, and one of the characters that makes Fire Emblem Awakening, like, hilarious, but also, like, he's very heartwarming and good. His support with Olivia is fantastic, and if I didn't like the support that I'm going to put Olivia with better, like, he would have won that 100%. But I do like his support with Pan a lot, because it alternates between, like, cute and funny things where, like, Pan is frightened and jumps into his arms, and then he tries to teach her ways to be less afraid of humans and ways to become closer to people so that she doesn't have to be alone. And it's a really heartwarming support chain. If you ignore the, like, last two lines of the support where Tharja says, Robin's gonna be my favorite, you're my second favorite, this support is one of the best in Fire Emblem, in my opinion. I love the light and darkness, like, dichotomy that Libra and Tharja have, but then also the darkness that Libra has within himself that he has been carrying around his whole life. You uncover this deep pain that he has felt. And he's not afraid to face anything that Tharja will throw at him because he's seen worse. And it's very heartwarming when, after all of this, has gone through, that Tharja says, you should try being happy now that you've uncovered, this darkness and you've shared it with me. Don't keep wallowing in, that darkness. You're not bound by it anymore. And I think it's a really powerful message that they both grew to understand, that they shared their burdens together and it was able to help them both, and that they should, grow together, move on. It's a very good support. Please watch it. It's awesome. I'm gonna try so hard to keep this around a minute long, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. Virian and Olivia is such a good ship. It is amazingly well written. I love their character interactions together. They play off each other's strengths really well, and there's just such a good and wholesome support. Don't at me. It's very good. It's so good. So What's really awesome about this support is that it really shows Virion in, like, all of his magnificence, all of his grandeur. Like, it doesn't sugarcoat the fact that, like, yeah, Virion sweet talks a lot of people, but it also shows us that, like, yeah, Virion also is very genuine and he respects people. Like, when Olivia says, hey, I want to learn this dance that's a partner dance, and he says, hey, I'll help teach it to you, but then she says, I don't think I can dance with you anymore, he goes, okay, that's fine, I'll help you from far away, that way you won't get nervous. Like, he's respecting her privacy, he's respecting her space, like, it's just really good. And then Olivia is just swooning over him the entire time, which is really cute and sweet. I forgot to screen cap it, but there's also a part where they talk about how Olivia maybe needs to be a little more bold, and it's like a direct parallel to her Maribel support, which is a good one, and so that's good. And he says that he loves her, and that's so sweet and good. And please watch this support. It is amazing. I love it. It's fun, it's cute, and it has, like, a lot of, you know, these characters and their, you know, good qualities that they both have. It also gives you one of the funniest dialogues in the game, a unique father-son dialogue with Virion and Inigo, where after Inigo says, I have, you know, come to the past in order to get all the girls, and most of the dads say, like, really? And Virion says, it's as if you only inherited one aspect of and then he just goes, like, never mind. Because it's like, really, dude? I didn't realize that that wasn't in all of the supports until I got the Awakening art book and saw that that is a unique line with Virion, and it just made me laugh so hard. It's so good. I love it a lot. He's a great dad for Inigo. Makes a lot of sense that he would, Inigo would pick up his kind of, like, flirtatious ways from his, like, flowery dad. Like, it's just such a good pair, and I love them so much, and I talked for too long about it, I'm sorry. By process of elimination, you may have been able to figure out that the final support is Henry and Shersh, and this is one that, another support that I've been with since day one. I love their dynamic so much. This is a support that we get to learn a little bit about Henry's backstory, which is very cute and sweet, but I also love that Henry goes out of his way to befriend Minerva. Minerva is someone that is very, very, very important to Shersh, like the most important, you know, being in her life. And the fact that Henry isn't scared, he's an off-put, he thinks she's cute, like, that's amazing, like an amazing way to start off. It gets to the point where Shersh has to say, okay, enough about Minerva, now spend some time with me. And Henry just is totally like, okay, yeah, let's do it, let's spend time together too. And it's really cute and sweet how it develops into, like, you know, a romance between them, and how, you know, Shersh is like, wow, this is unexpected, but I also, like, really want to be with you and learn more about you. It's cute. I also think it's funny how Shersh says, everyone loves Minerva, but you love her more. It's like, bro, people are so scared of Minerva, but it's okay, it's funny. The support also has, like, one of the most random endings ever, but I'm not going to spoil that in case you haven't watched the support yet. Last thing is that I think that Henry is the most likely out of all of the candidates to teach Jerome Minervikins, since Shersh says, you know, like, my sweet Minerva, like, she's very formal about it, but then Jerome is more like, Minervikins. Like, that is so something that Henry would say. And like I said before, Henry is the best dad for everyone, like, hands down. He's just an amazing father, but I just really, really like the idea of, you know, fun and happy-go-lucky Henry being the father of this, like, brooding boy who says Minervikins. It's very cute and sweet. And with that, I have gone through all of my optimal pairings for Fire Emblem Awakening. Rip to Gaius. I love Gaius supports, like, they're usually really, really funny, but I just couldn't find one that I liked better than the supports that I chose for this. So, it's okay, buddy. You can spend all your time praying to the gods for those donuts without having to worry about offering your firstborn son. You're fine. I may make a Gen 2 video, I may not. I thought that this video was going to be long enough already as is. So, hope you enjoyed hearing me ramble about my favorite conversations and my favorite pairs in Fire Emblem Awakening, and I hope that you maybe go check out some that you haven't seen before, because there are a lot of good gems in this game.